This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, a fatal accident delays the cruise ship Emerald Princess from departing today, flooding Dunedin with visitors in an unplanned stay. If you were born in 1967, the Otago Peninsula Trust wants to celebrate your birthday with you. Find out how. And the fluffy animal story of the week sees 4 brown-teal duckling being released into the wild. Aww. Good evening with The South Today, I'm Craig Story. A man was killed by a flying gas bottle aboard a cruise ship berthed in Dunedin last night. The fatal accident meant the vessel remained in Port Chalmers for an extra night while investigations began into the crew member's death.
A loud explosion was heard throughout Port Chalmers yesterday afternoon when a gas bottle aboard the Emerald Princess exploded, killing 1 person. Emergency services were quickly on the scene and attended to the crew member. Passengers report seeing a severed arm being carried away in an ice bucket. Those on board were told the crew member was filling the gas cylinder at the time it exploded. One of the passengers spoken with by the ODT yesterday said many of the passengers were crying, as no one wants to die at work. The Emerald Princess remained in Port Chalmers last night following the tragedy. Port Otago Chief Executive Jeff Plunkett says the ship won't leave port until receiving Maritime New Zealand clearance. Cruise ship operator Carnival Australia's David Jones says they're assisting authorities with the investigation. Police are investigating the death on behalf of the coroner and have consulted WorkSafe New Zealand and Maritime New Zealand. The incident will be subject to a Transport Accident Investigation Commission investigation. A St John's spokesperson says the man died at the scene, and although an ambulance was dispatched, it was not required. It is understood the man suffered horrific injuries. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
Audiences at the World Shearing Champs are in for a real treat tomorrow. Prime Minister Bill English will take on the world's most decorated shearer, Sir David Fagan, in a head-to-head competition. The PM's initial offer to shear 1 sheep against Fagan's 10 has been rejected by the World Championships. It's election year. Yet it is yet to be decided on how many each competitor will take on. Sophie Barker grew up in Larnac Castle and knows a thing or two about old houses. She's working for Otago Peninsula Trust, who are in full swing with their 50th anniversary celebrations. The Trust is offering special deals for people born in 1967 to commemorate its 50th birthday.
As a young woman, Sophie Barker grew up in Larnac Castle, which her parents purchased in 1967 when her mother was 8 months pregnant. 40 years later, she has another role looking after a different part of Dunedin's history.
Glenfalloch was built in 1871 as a big estate, I guess, on the Otago Peninsula, and that was actually, I guess, rescued by the Otago Peninsula Trust. In 1969 the Trust bought it. The Trust was actually set up in 1966. Dunedin was very much in the doldrums at the time.
Glenfalloch was the place to be for Dunedin's well-to-do. It was the first purchase of Otago Peninsula Trust 50 years ago. Most of the period features had to be restored or replaced entirely by the Trust upon purchase.
We've got so many amazing people on the peninsula who we're going to interview and talk about their time helping the Trust. We're really lucky we have 2 original trustees, Bill Dawson and Laurie Stewart, who are still here 50 years later.
Staff and a few friends of the 4-legged variety still regularly visit Glenfalloch, but the public doesn't usually get a chance to see behind the curtain. Barker wants to make the building more accessible.
We have 200 students producing 100 marketing plans to help Glenfalloch think about how we're going to get people here and raise funds, I guess, to support the building and keeping the garden open for everyone. So very excited about that, because all these wonderful young brains thinking about how to market Glenfalloch is better than just my brain alone.
The garden is classified as nationally significant by the New Zealand Gardens Trust. Restoration is still underway in many rooms of the 30-acre property, but Barker says with a little more funding, the Trust may be able to reinstate its former glory. Roselle LeBone, The South Today.
Evidence of diesel was found on the water of Oamaru Harbour yesterday after a vessel ran aground. The owner has engaged a salvage diver from Dunedin to prevent any further fuel leaking.
It appears there's a small amount of diesel may have leaked, but yeah, certainly the surveillance we've undertaken indicates that most of it seems to be contained at this stage.
Otago Regional Council staff trained in oil spill response secured the scene, minimising the impact of any spilt fuel on the very sensitive environment. 4 brown teal ducklings, initially kept at Kiwi Birdlife Park in Queenstown, are being released into the wild. The birds are preparing for a new life in Milford Sound. Mina Amso talks to the people helping the endangered native duck species to grow in numbers.
Kiwi Birdlife staff hold tight to this rolling, whistling young duck. It's being checked before joining its other duck mates. Hello, Mina Amso in Kiwi Wildlife Park, where the ducklings have been captured. They've been staying here for 8 weeks. They're off their way to the airport to Christchurch. At least 3 out of these 4 ducklings will survive on their own in their new home in Milford Sound.
Mainly because we are releasing them into areas where we've done lots of pest management, those sorts of areas where there's lots of trapping and baiting for those mammal pests that we've introduced, things like dogs, stoats, rats, cats. So putting them out into those areas is definitely ensuring the best chance of survival.
The blue teal's population have increased from 400 to over 2,000 in New Zealand over the past 10 years.
They are one of the rarest ducks we have here in New Zealand on the mainland. We, as I mentioned, we dropped about 400, below 400 of these populations, but we've now increased in 2000. In the year 2000 we managed to increase, so we've got now 2,000 to 2,500 of these.
Parks manager Paul Kavanagh says conservation work at Kiwi Birdlife Park is only possible with the support of the local Queenstown community.
Well, here at the park we've got 23 native species. All of our animals are here for a reason, so breed for release programs and rehabilitation, and this is really why we're involved in what we do. This is the most rewarding aspect of our job is seeing animals go out into the wild to help increase their numbers.
The ducklings were boarded onto an Air New Zealand flight to Christchurch, where they'll stay for 2 weeks before being taken away to their new home in Milford Sound. Mina Amso, The South Today.
Cute. Still to come on The South Today. Amberley Beach surf casting competition results are in, but who let the dogfish out? And Geraldine Vintage Car and Machinery Museum has its birthday soon. You're going to want to hang around for this. This story is pure gold.
Emu oil has been used for centuries to support joint mobility and tired muscles. Also helpful for supporting healthy skin. Available as oil or in capsules. Go to www.silberhorn.co.nz to order emu oil today.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Grandad loved his family and surfing, in that order. He taught me to surf, and we spent a lot of time in the water together over the years. When he died, I strapped the camera to the nose of his old board and filmed the paddle out at St. Clair. Gillian's played the video on the big screen at his funeral. Grandad would have loved having everyone come out one last surf with him.
Gillian's Funeral Services, helping families celebrate the lives of their loved ones for generations. Gillians.co.nz.
The University of Otago, New Zealand's only true collegiate university. For first-year students, the history, the expectations of excellence are
Unfamiliar.
G'day, I'm next door.
Hi, next door. I'm Samantha Pascoe.
No, you're not. I'm Josh, Clyde, Science. And you are?
Sam, Hastings, Laura and Arts.
Tane, Auckland, Commerce. Osaka, Greece, Classics. History.
Bring some more joy into your world by adopting one of our adult animals at SPCA Otago. Call now on 473 8252. Please adopt a pet now, they will love you forever.
Here is this week's Mole Map UV report. Did you know UV radiation can penetrate through clouds, meaning you can still get sunburnt on a cloudy day?
If you've ever been on a sunbed or been badly sunburnt, what are the chances you could have melanoma? Remove the doubt. Get a mole map.
We're a 25 Moreau Place at Dog with Tails Cafe and Bar. So we take coffee very seriously. We do what's called contract roasting, so we're creating our own roasting profile and then doing our own blends. We're really focusing on the craft of what we're doing. You know, we're going back, instead of going on mass-produced sort of cheap things, we're taking the time to really craft what we're making. Make it so anyone can come here and have a feed and be able to get something they're able to eat or that they want to eat as well. You're kind of getting a taste of cafes from all around the world when you come here.
For over 35 years, Roslyn Mowers and Heating have been selling and servicing outdoor power equipment and are well established in home heating, installing wood fires. Call in and meet the friendly team. Roslyn Mowers and Heating, 150 Kaikorai Valley Road.
Travelling this weekend? Think slow.
Get finance and get on the road. Talk to MTF today.
Active Furnishers Limited, home of quality service with superior product and an in-house design team who are always happy to advise and create an imaginative solution for you. Active Furnishers Limited, part of Dunedin's design history.
Thank you for staying with the South today. A 1.2 metre stingray took line honours at the Amberley Beach surf casting competition recently. 300 surfcasters took part in the annual contest. A skate measuring 807mm was reeled in by Isabella Linton to take out the junior prize from 80 other junior fishers. The club president says it was the highest number of kids registering for the event ever. Noticeable by their absence this year were the usual dogfish. Who let them out? Species caught include yellow-eyed mullet, herrings, skate, stingray and the ever-cheeky paddle crabs. Ashburton's old community pool on Walnut Avenue is now a pile of rubble. The pool on Ministry of Education land next to Ashburton College is all but demolished. It was built as an open-air pool in 1974 and was covered in the 1980s. It served the community well, though there were constant maintenance problems towards the end of its life. A decade ago, there was a call for a multi-sport facility, which opened in May of 2015. Oh, this is gold. The Geraldine Vintage Car and Machinery Museum will be celebrating its 50th birthday soon, and you're invited. The museum, which has 400 cars, tractors and machines, as well as 2,000 exhibits, will waive its normal entry fee for the weekend. There will be a range of static and moving vehicles, as well as plenty of displays outside. Grab a friend, take them along.
There'll be a free ride around the block on a tractor and a trailer, and there'll be plenty of outside exhibits to look up and outside the street as well in the complex. And if you really like, you can really get on this old beast and try and give it a spin.
The museum has many rare examples of transportation, including a motorcycle hearse, John Britton's camper van, and a rare biplane. After the break on the South today, Homestead Bay in Queenstown offers up parcels of land starting at $2 million apiece. And just how low is an F on the world's largest recorder? Also, tomorrow's ODT and the weather for your weekend. Hang around.
Emu oil has been used for centuries to support joint mobility and tired muscles. Also helpful for supporting healthy skin. Available as oil or in capsules. Go to www.silberhorn.co.nz to order emu oil today.
Here is this week's Mole Map UV report. Did you know UV radiation can penetrate through clouds, meaning you can still get sunburnt on a cloudy day?
If you've ever been on a sunbed or been badly sunburnt, what are the chances you could have melanoma? Remove the doubt. Get a mole map.
Bring some more joy into your world by adopting one of our adult animals at SPCA Otago. Call now on 473 8252. Please adopt a pet now, they will love you forever.
Travelling this weekend? Think slow.
Active Furnishers Limited, home of quality service with superior product and an in-house design team who are always happy to advise and create an imaginative solution for you. Active Furnishers Limited, part of Dunedin's design history.
We're a 25 Moray place at Dog with Tails Cafe and Bar. So we take coffee very seriously. We do what's called contract roasting, so we're creating our own roasting profile and then doing our own blends. We're really focusing on the craft of what we're doing. You know, we're going back, instead of going on mass-produced sort of cheap things, we're taking the time to really craft what we're making. Make it so anyone can come here and have a feed and be able to get something they're able to eat or that they want to eat as well. You're kind of getting a taste of cafes from all around the world when you come here.
The University of Otago. Usually the atmosphere is charged with the energy of student life. But this week is the week before exams.
Hey, Dane. Not now, man. I'm panicking. Come on, mate. I know just what you need. In here? No. Is this it? No. This is the place to ease your stress.
Hey, Tane. Fancy a little cuddle?
Get finance and get on the road. Talk to MTF today.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
From rare to the recent, visit the legendary Hard to Find for your quality second-hand books. With the largest stock in New Zealand and a friendly book-loving atmosphere. For good prices, buying or selling, come visit 20 Dowling Street.
For over 35 years, Roslyn Mowers and Heating have been selling and servicing outdoor power equipment and are well established in home heating, installing wood fires. Call in and meet the friendly team. Roslyn Mowers and Heating, 150 Kaikorai Valley Road.
Channel 39 brings you highlights of the Burt Munro Challenge Beach Race, held at Arete Beach this summer. Premieres this Saturday, 8:30 p.m.
Thank you for staying with the South today. I'm Craig Story. A Queenstown lakeside development near a golf resort will begin with a dozen sections valued at $2 million and over. Murphy Development Limited is planning to build a 12-lot subdivision near Jacks Point Golf Resort. It's the first stage of a $100 million development at Homestead Bay. Plans include a marina, boat launch area and 130 sections, cafes and commercial premises, and a pedestrian access to the lake. The whole development is set on a kilometre of lake frontage. People taking Saturday morning music classes in Dunedin have the opportunity to try their hands and their lungs and their lips on one of the world's largest woodwind instruments. The contrabass recorder is in the key of F, which is 2 octaves below the standard recorder, and it sounds like this. The contrabass recorder is one of the lowest sounding instruments in the woodwind family. Music teacher Art Bruce says they purchased the $10,000 instrument late last year.
2016 with the help of the Lion Foundation grant, and it's going to be used to support the lower end of our recorder consort and enriching the sound of the group of about 25 players who work together on a Saturday morning.
It takes a good pair of lungs to produce sound, which is why those running classes prefer adults to sign up to learn. Dunedin's Saturday morning music classes restart on February the 25th. Put that in your diary. All right, and now recapping the top stories on the South today. A fatal accident meant the Emerald Princess remained at Port Chalmers for an extra night while investigations began into a crew member's death. The Otago Peninsula Trust is celebrating its 50th anniversary as an incorporated society this year, with special offers for locals. And 4 endangered blue-teal ducklings from Queenstown are preparing for release into the wild environment of Milford Sound. Time now to have a look at what's in tomorrow's Otago Daily Times. Good day to you, Phil. How are you?
Right. Yes, let's start with the mix.
Good.
A good mix, as one would expect. Travel stories about someone who stayed for 6 days in a wellness retreat at Glenorchy, so intriguing. Another story about an Iranian couple and small children. One baby was born here in New Zealand. They've been visited in their home town in Iran and reflect on the wonderful time and hospitality they received in Dunedin. It's got
good
a
story. It sounds nice.
Thing. And the cover story is about Nadia Reid, the rising star of music.
A great luminary is Ms. Reid.
Only 22 on BBC 6, you said
yes,
the other day.
Yes.
And touring England at the moment. Big album coming out, if not bad for a former Queen's High pupil from a few years ago. An issue that really affects Queenstown is overseas people being sentenced, one for for community work, and doing runners, taking off back overseas. And this is quite frustrating employers and people that have been affected by their crimes.
So they get through the court system, they're convicted,
penalised,
given their penalty, and they do a runner. Okay, got to get on top of that.
Now, Delta's debacle that keeps on giving, so to speak. The latest, we have a story about, it looks like about less than half the poles that promised will be replaced. They'll be replaced system street by street, so there will be power cuts while that's going on.
Good that you use the word debacle.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Well, and then court stories. There's quite a few interesting court stories these days. One tomorrow, a woman was sentenced for embezzling $114,000 from a South Dunedin Education Institute. So she came up for sentence today, so you can read about that as well.
Plenty and more to read in the ODC from tomorrow. Phil, thank you so very much.
I thought I just forgot to mention, but I did a lot more on the shearing champs in Invercargill.
Oh, indeed.
And some fabulous pictures from Stephen Jackery, who's been down there. So.
Oh, marvellous. It's a big story. We've been quite a bit of it here too.
Absolutely.
Marvellous. Thank you, Phil. All right, time now to have a look at tomorrow's weather. TG.
This weather update proudly brought to you in association with Silberhorn Sportsville.
Today's southern view looking towards the gondolas in QT. Looking at our situation, the front is moving away from the south today, leaving summer behind. Another front approaches from the Southern Ocean later on though. The southern outlook, well, from Balclutha to the Catlins, Gore and Lumsden, moderate northerlies please. High cloud, 17 to 19 for you. Moving now to the central, well, Alexandra light northerlies, fine, 25, Queenstown, the same, 23, light northerlies and 24 for Taonau and also in Wanaka. Good place to be. And in Oamaru, we have moderate nor'easters, some cloud and 19 for you. Amarama, moderate nor'easters, fine and 23. Timaru, moderate nor'easters, some cloud 21 and light northerlies and 24 for Twizel. And Otepoti tonight, it's 12, fine, maybe a little rain later on, but Saturday fine, light cloud northerlies 13 and 18, and Sunday cooler, a little rain, southerlies developing 11 and 15, but I'm predicting 17 for Sunday. And in Waihopai in Invercargill tonight, quite pleasant now, 9 degrees. Saturday, fine, sunny periods, moderate nor'easters, 11 and 17, that's about as summery as you can expect. And Sunday, showers developing, fresh cool sou'westers, 11 and 15, I'm going to predict 16. And it's been my pleasure to bring you the week that was, which is what we're going to play for you now. Thank you for watching. I'm Craig Story. Good night.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.